This is a $750 random video game mystery box, not from eBay, but a specialty retro video game store. And Melissa's certainly excited, so am I. So hopefully this should yield some more interesting results. So it's been a while, since we last did one of these. And that's partly because, as I said before, like a year ago now, it's like I want to buy from brand new sellers and stores that I've never seen before. That way we can ensure it's as random as possible every single time. And also, like, at least on eBay, and I know some of those stores are retro game stores that have an eBay store, but normally from eBay it's a bunch of like filler titles at a wholesale price. But this is direct from a retro game store based out of Vancouver, Washington, called Double Jump Video Games. And the reason, or rather the way I found them, was they have their own YouTube channel that I was recommended one day, and really fun channel. They do these like daily vlogs where they show you the kind of the on-the-ground process of running a retro game store. You see their trade-ins on the daily. You see them, you know, just kind of talking amongst one another, like the store camaraderie. And so I kind of got hooked on that, and they have a site where they sell their games, and they also have a mystery box that you can buy at a bunch of different values, some as high as $10,000, which your boy ain't got it like that, so I did not spend that much. But $750 I figured was a good enough range to where maybe they could really have some fun with this box. And so let's actually, just before we go in, I know I'm taking too long here, but to bring up their listing for the mystery box. So they ask directly, what consoles and categories do you want games from? Do you want quality or quantity? Only complete or no manual, loose games, is that okay? And is there anything you for sure do not want? So here's what I filled in. Gave them a, kind of a set goal here, which is anything PlayStation, Nintendo, or Xbox. Quality preferred, but I'll take some filler. Complete only, and I also put in parentheses, no greatest hits, player's choice, platinum hits. I don't want any of that. And the only thing I don't need is NES, SNES, or N64. Because I don't collect any cartridge-based games. Well, I got like GBA stuff, but I don't really collect any of that, and thankfully I have not fallen into that rabbit hole just yet, so the fact that I'm not going to get any more out of this box is a good thing. You can see their little custom tape here. That's DJ, Double Jump Video Games. Pretty cool. But I'm excited, so we'll see what we got. Oh, and their listing does also say they'll try to provide more value than what was spent, so of course we'll be checking that as well to see how they did. But here we go. Yeah, I assume this was going to be packaged pretty good because it was coming from very far away. Well, of course the packing slip. Make this easier for me to edit so I don't got to censor it. Okay, we're already starting off strong here, I think. What's this? Mass Effect 3? Oh, my lord, okay. This is the, what is this, the collector's edition, or comes with a steelbook, I'm guessing? Art book? I don't remember this edition of the game, I really don't. So yeah, it's the steelbook edition. I can open it up there for $360, very cool. Disc 1, Disc 2, that's surely not usable, but I've got that. Right off the bat, something cool. Like that, this would have never shown up in a standard like eBay lot thing, right? So I'm assuming there's an art book in here or something. Okay, I'm not going to lie, this is pretty sweet. Oh, look at that, a little N7 patch as well. I don't remember this edition of the game, but it's complete. That's pretty sweet. And the interesting thing is, I should have noted this before, but like, I ordered this like, I think a day after their Black Friday and Cyber Monday sale, which means they probably got wiped on a lot of really interesting stuff. So if I can get this back in, there we go. So I was really curious as to like what they were going to be able to do here, because I know like you can kind of tell when they upload a video and they say like, hey, we got so-and-so in, the following upload they'll talk about how that item had already sold or something, and that's just kind of like the nature of it because they're showing off all the things they get in on a daily basis. But next we've got the new Nintendo 3DS version of Minecraft, and these kind of games are always so surprising to me. There's only a very select few amount of games that are exclusively for the new Nintendo 3DS. that always seemed like such a very unusual thing to me. I mean, it's not completely unheard of per se. We had the whole Game Boy Color situation. There's, you know, there was a lot more Game Boy Color only games versus the new Nintendo 3DS situation, but this is only part of like 15, 20 something games. I don't know, it's a very small list, but this always struck me as a bit odd that Nintendo would allow developers that far into that life cycle to be like, yeah, okay, you can do it. Because Game Boy Color had a much longer, healthy life on the market to where it was kind of warranted. And I was hoping I would get some Xbox games, so I'm actually quite pleased to have some original Xbox. Although I wasn't really expecting the Vampire Slayer, but hey, it's something that I more than likely would have not gotten myself, and I just love when I open it and the art is already like facing correctly. Like, so many of you have picked up on that habit where I do that, where if I'm taking these new games out of packages, I will correct the disc before I put it back in. I didn't realize I did that until I was filming myself and putting it on the internet, and people said, I like how you do that, and I'm like, what? Alright, so, you know, I wasn't actually expecting new games whatsoever, because that just seems kind of unusual for a random lot, but, well, I assume this is new. They usually put a lot of these games, or they put new games in these, like, little plastic covers, which always makes it just a little bit nicer, so I assume it's new. Oh yeah, it's new. And I've heard of this one. It's got a weird long name, like this title right here, Wonder Labyrinth. This franchise, it's like a longer name or something. Yeah, I can barely read it. Record of L'Audace War. I don't know much about this game, but I remember seeing a few trailers, and it seemed interesting. Kind of forgot about it. Came out 1 or 2 years ago, but now I've got it, so that's a good one. I'm already so into this, because, again, it's like direct from them. Gave them some instructions, and here's some of that filler stuff that I said, yeah, I'll take some filler. For Honor, multiplayer only, like sword hack and slash game. This did not do very good at all. I think it was well received, but you could start buying these discs like brand new for $5 or something. So $7.99 pre-owned. That's surprising to me. Same with Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah, $3 dirt cheap. I think I've got like 3 or 4 of these on PlayStation 4, and these have shown up in the other videos, so not surprising whatsoever. But we've got some Xbox One games. I'll always take those, especially because sometimes they're just good replacement cases. Ooh, a PS1 game. I don't have this. Taifu, Wrath of the Tiger. Okay, sweet. I am excited about this. This jewel case is pristine, too. It's got to be replaced, I'm assuming. No, it's not, or at least I assume it's not, because you can see the little compact disc logo right there. Usually if these are swapped out, that's like a completely blank thing because they're generic jewel cases. But I love me some PlayStation 1 games. You've seen in the collection updates I've been working on PS1, so anytime I get new PS1 stuff, thrilled about that. See, these ones are front-facing. I got to work on this pile. This is new? Oh my lord. I've never bought from this franchise, the Atelier franchise, a new PlayStation 3 game. I gotta relax. I'm a little excited. You know what's funny? I actually just recently got some new PS3 games. Let me show you in this recording while I've got you here. And when I say new, I mean these were recently released new PlayStation 3 games. Shakedown Hawaii and Retro City Rampage. So these were just recently printed and released, as in these are likely, if not the last, one of the last brand new PlayStation 3 games out there. So not only are they new, but they were recently released. This is kind of a big history piece for me, so had to grab these, but it's been a while since I've had like new PlayStation 3 games. So those are, well, cool to have that. Cool to have this too. And never played this franchise, so maybe I will give this a shot. It's almost like they knew that I ordered this, which, by the way, I ensured that was not the case because I want it to be random, ordered as a different name. Although I don't expect people to know who I am all the time or at all, really, but I did use a different name just in case. Call of Duty Ghosts on Xbox One. Pretty good stuff here. And then Dragon Age Inquisition. Also enjoy Dragon Age a lot. Great to have more Xbox One games. I'm telling you, I'm totally fine with having some replacement cases for these, actually, because, like, Call of Duty I really don't need. But we are now looking at my... And I always feel ashamed to admit this. My first Wii U game. I don't actually have a Wii U. Skipped out on that generation. I think a lot of people did, understandably. Wasn't necessarily something I wanted to do, but by the time I was ready to, say, buy one or, like, really get into it, just so many of those games were ported over to Switch, so it became more and more hard to justify the idea of getting into Wii U. But I now have a Wii U game, and after I placed this order, I thought to myself, I'm going to get a Wii U game probably. So now maybe I got to get on that and buy a Wii U. Monster Hunter World for PlayStation 4. Don't actually have Monster Hunter World, so I'll definitely take it. Not like I don't want to play it, but just haven't really gotten around to it. I know this is something where you can spend a boatload of time on it, and nowadays I do tend to avoid those titles, not by choice. PlayStation 2, and it's interesting that they list this as poor. The case looks pretty good, actually. But Romancing Saga, don't have this one. Ooh, oh my god, look at how super complete this game is. Did this come with it? No way. Were there ever GameFly promotions like in the cases for these games? Or was this one of those, I don't know, was it a rental store game? I mean, I'm not sure if GameFly ever did like baked in ads with PS2 games. I don't remember off the top of my head, but cool. I also like PlayStation 2 stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay, Blood Omen 2. You know, it's great for PlayStation 2 in particular because the console had so many games that I've got like usual suspect stuff on there, like the Metal Gear, Need for Speed, Final Fantasy, Tekken, of course a lot of PlayStation first party stuff. I've got those usual suspects, but third party, you're always gonna... I find that you'll always find something new and interesting and unique that you likely don't have if you're a collector yourself or if you like buying for PlayStation 2. A lot of stuff. Yeah, more Wii U we've got. Yoshi's Woolly World. Some of this stuff was also on 3DS too, wasn't it? Like there's is it this game in particular that's on 3DS? That I don't know offhand, but that's just another part of it where some of these are on 3DS, or at least some kind of offbeat version that's worth playing. Oh my... Whoa! I am speechless. Well, in fairness, I did say no NES, SNES, and N64. In my head, I'm like, yeah, I don't need cartridge stuff. But I just got Wario Land on the Virtual Boy, and I can easily confirm to you all, this is my first... here, I should bring it up closer for you. This is indeed my first Virtual Boy game. Woof, $75. Yeah, these get up there for sure. Especially if they're complete. Jack Bros is like, that's a four-figure game, easily, if it's complete. Loose, I don't know what that goes for. Wow, it feels surreal holding one of these. It's so cool. I don't know if I'll ever be able to actually play this, because I don't want to, like, part with it, but... Because there's just certain platforms where I kind of make my peace with it. I'm like, I won't collect for that platform. I'm cool with it. And so my hard cutoff was the cartridge-based stuff. And really just anything that kind of predates PlayStation 1. At least for like most of my childhood and growing up, I played on a lot of disc-based consoles. It's not like I don't appreciate the old stuff. In fact, I tend to... That's usually the one time where I'll either emulate it or buy the mini consoles and play them on there, or... But just in terms of collecting, storage, how much these things cost, that was my cutoff. But that is just so cool to see. FF14, I'm surprised. It's new. I was gonna say $20. That seems pretty steep for anything MMO related. If it's the first disc or if it's an expansion, these are usually super cheap. But that's brand new. Okay, we are taking too long here. Sorry, I'm kind of you know how I ramble. Let's move on here. We've got a brand new copy of Roman Rumble in Las Vegas. No clue. Never heard of this one, but it's a brand new Xbox One game, so I'll take that. And this is A new PlayStation 2 game? Okay, this is exactly what I was saying. Like, this, just none of this would have came up in our typical eBay boxes. Alongside this, and I'll definitely take more Switch. Etherborn? It's weird. Some games, or not just games, just in general, the pronunciation of ether, sometimes it's ether. Never heard of this one either. It's, well, I'm 8-Bit published it, so... And I'm 8-Bit, Special Reserve, Limited Run. Now, there's a lot of these publishers that, and Switch in particular, has so many games that get a game card print, and it's just, that's still kind of funny to me. And a new PS2 game. I'm sitting here saying, like, oh, we got to kind of get through this, and now I'm just like, oh, it's hard not to just sit here and bask in this. Another 8-Bit game. Actually, this one's from the same developer, Akapura Games. But we got that. That's a new Switch game. A Vita title. Okay, my eye darted right in between all this. You'd think I'd be looking at this PS1 or this PlayStation 3 game. No. Mortal Kombat on Vita. This was on my hit list. This was on my PlayStation Vita hit list. Now, let me tell you something right here, right now. If we're being very candid, no chance that I think Vita stuff was going to be on here. In fact, I've seen their Vita games a few times on their site, and you know, if they pan over to their like section with Vita, like every store does not have a lot of Vita stuff, so I guess they were cool with, you know, parting with this in this box. I mean, we're doing good so far. Another Vita game. Danganronpa. This is almost better than the time I spent $40 on a random box, and it came with like the value counter was like way over, because it was like some sort of like Target return box or something, or it was a bunch of games that were like sealed and practically new, but Target has a thing where if like a game comes loose or something, at least at the time, they wouldn't sell those or whatever, and I guess that's how I got those games. But we've got Danganronpa, which is a very steep Vita game. My blood pressure's through the roof right now. More PlayStation 3. We've got Fairy Tail, what is it, Fencer, whatever this is called. I've seen this before. Don't really have a lot of this stuff. Oh, it's got reversible art. Okay, I like that. That's pretty cool. Alright, we've got that. Batman Arkham Origins on Xbox 360. Of course, excellent game. Cool to have that. We've got a PS1 game. Motocross Mania. What's up with all the motocross games on PS1, PS2? Is it just me, or is there like a ton of them? Like this too, Ford Racing. Now I've actually got this. Not by choice. I think that either came up at a random box, or I don't know how I got a hold of it, but I've got that. Capcom Classics Collection. This actually is a good reference back to what I was saying before. Like, when it comes to super retro stuff, I like playing the mini consoles. Sometimes I'll emulate. If it is available on the storefront again, so like on the eShop, PlayStation Store, whatever, I'll buy it there. Or sometimes collections, like the Atari collection just came out. That is a fantastic collection to get. If you've ever wanted to dive into Atari stuff, and it's like, obviously you're not going to like, because for a lot of folks, I get it, you're not going to like go out and buy original hardware and all the games again, and also try to make sure it looks good on a modern television. Atari collection, that's a good recent release. Amazing Spider-Man 2 on Wii U. No clue how good this game is. Or, for example, whatever this is, Jurassic The Hunt. Now, I do remember this game, but, well, a lot of these Wii titles aren't exactly the most enjoyable out there. But I'll play that. In fact, near Wii launch, I liked Red Steel a lot, and that game did not review. That game did not receive good reviews. Let's just put it that way. Oh, so we got a lot of stuff on the side here too. Let's try and wipe out this center section. GameCube was also something that I wasn't really banking on. A lot of GameCube stuff is very high value nowadays. Star Wars, I've also been pretty candid about this before. Not really a Star Wars person. I don't think Terrell is either, so I'm not sure if he would be interested in this, but Might be a good replacement case. I'll hang on to it, at least with GameCube. If I see a game that I really want, but the case is in rough shape, I'll buy it. Swap cases there. More Wii U stuff. Wow, kicking off my Wii U collection pretty good with, what I get like so far? 4 games? 5 games on Wii U? Well, even more. It's another Lego game. The Lego games never really have super high values, so... And the thing is, they're just such great games, so... Kind of a best case scenario. They get, disc prints all the time. You can buy them physical. Usually get a nice full build on the disc. Values are low, and they're just super fun games to mess around with. Alright, this is wrapped, and I think that's like a big box or something. So we get to that last. Another PlayStation 2 game in a one of these really weird DVD cases. This is not the GameCube style, because obviously an OEM GameCube case would be a lot smaller and it would just, have Nintendo stuff on it, obviously. This is like one of those weird DVD cases that is like super thick and has that like frosted front. So I would assume this is a case swap. Ain't no way I'm going to be able to tell across all PlayStation 2 games. There's definitely some PS2 games that brand new they did have slightly different cases, but I would assume that's different. Somebody can inform me if I'm wrong. Virtua Fighter 4, I think I just got this recently. Actually, yeah, I think I just got this because this game doesn't actually run that well on CCHE model PlayStation 3s. And that game didn't show up in our video that we did just recently about looking at those games being played on that PlayStation 3 model. Skyrim PlayStation 3, I assume I still have my copy out there. I've never gotten rid of a PlayStation 3 game, although I am interested in this one because I've never seen... Oh, so this is a later print. One of the greatest games ever, G4 TV. I'm pretty sure that's a different print of the game. Otherwise, it would be completely blank. I keep hitting the bubbles here, sorry. Let me move this out of the way. Now you all know I mess with Warhawk big time. In fact, I think I've got 3 or 4 of these copies, and it looks like we can't actually use this one. But yeah, standard Warhawk copy that came with the Jabra headset. The Division 2, I've seen plenty of these before. The Mummy on PlayStation 1. This is a $35 game. Again, I'm assuming they're oh, okay, well, the case is not that good, but wow, $35 for this? Oof, this is definitely, okay, this needs a replacement jewel case. But shout out to our boy, Brendan Fraser. I learned that's how I just learned recently during the Actors on Actors video with Adam Sandler, his last name's Fraser, not Frazier, as people like to inflect on that last name there. More X1 games, The Division, Battlefront, Assassin's Creed Unity, Battlefield 1. I think I have all of these on PlayStation 4, but I'll take some Xbox One versions because, again, I can harvest those cases if I need to. But that's most of what's in that box. I just hit the microphone, and I don't know what's in this. Oh, please do not tell me they just gave me a complete in-box GBA game. Please do not tell me. No, tell me. I want to see that, actually. Okay. Golden Force, brand new. Definitely brand new. Got that nice little seal on there. Never heard of this one, so I will take a look at that later. And I just got a complete in-box Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. Dude, this was awesome. Like, what is happening here? What was the other high value game? Wow. Okay, let me lay it all out here. Honestly, I can't even lay all this out to make it look good here. Wow. Haven't done the value calculation yet. Obviously, that's always in post, but I can't see how this is not, like, I didn't make out really good here. I just didn't get to choose anything. But wow. So this is exactly what I was going for. So much cool stuff. I didn't at all think we would see PlayStation Vita, or really, I wasn't expecting new, but I guess I was so conditioned based on those prior boxes. but they're, a retro game store that has new stuff, so that was cool to see as well. And 100% didn't think I would see a Virtual Boy game. I guess that's where they got me, where I didn't say, well, I don't want any Virtual Boy stuff. Oh, we got one of those. I might have to buy one of those someday. I'm not going to get rid of this. I got to hold on to it. And especially this GBA game. Okay. I know the video is really long. I'm sorry. Thank you, Double Jump crew. You did a fantastic job if you end up seeing this. But yeah, this was great. So thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't just yet, please subscribe for the best PlayStation news, reviews, and updates that are here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Twitter @MysticRyan. And that is it. I will see you all in my next video. You take it easy.